Magandang araw at magandang gabi po sa mga nakakapanood sa gabi at sa lahat po ng naabot ng video na ito. Welcome po dito sa AMB o Avoy Mix Videos. Ngayon po ang tatalakayin natin ang video nitong siya Global Security Report. No? Papanoorin po natin yung kanyang video at tayo po ay magbibigay ng komento dito sa kanyang topic. Yung magpupondo ng napakalaki ang Amerika dito sa Pilipinas, sa lugar din sa Pilipinas para maging kampo nila, no? Ito po ay sa Batanes. Ngayon po ay sang-ayon ba kayo dito o hindi? Ito po kasi ang tanging paraan para ma-counter itong katigasan ng ulo nitong mga Chinese na ito o nung kanilang presidente na si Xi Jinping. So, halina, panoorin na po natin itong video na ito ni Global Security Report. Ito po.
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a fascinating and strategic development in the Philippines. The U.S.-funded port in Batanes and why this move is stirring up global interest. Is this the latest chapter in the U.S.-China rivalry? Or could it be a new beacon of cooperation in the region? Let's take a closer look.
At ang China.
Batanes, the northernmost province of the Philippines, is closer to Taiwan than it is to the country's capital, Manila. This remote and picturesque group of islands has recently become the focus of attention for both the U.S. and China. Why? It's all about location, location, location.
Kaya po, barko ng Pilipinas at saka ng Amerika, no? Kung doon nga naman kasi ilalagay yung mas maganda yon, mas malapit at mas malayo naman sa Pilipinas at mas malapit sa China at mas madaling makakapaghatid ng tulong kung sakaling sumiklab ang gera dito sa Taiwan, ano? Tama lang po doon sa Batanes, no? Ituloy po natin yung video.
The United States has shown a renewed commitment to supporting its allies in Asia, particularly in areas close to the South China Sea. With its proximity to both Taiwan and disputed waters, Batanes presents an invaluable strategic location. Recently, the U.S. committed funding for a port in Batanes, a move that many experts interpret as a counter to China's growing influence in the Indo-Pacific.
America's commitment to the defense of the Philippines is ironclad.
So dito po, no, ang unang nagsabi nito ay yung dating presidente nila, si Biden. Ngayon po kasi ang presidente ng nanalo ngayon ay si Trump, si President Trump ngayon. Itong isang general na to, si Lloyd Austin, talagang inulit niya yung sinabi ni Biden na ironclad, no? So, tuloy natin yung video.
Our alliance makes both of our democracies more secure and helps uphold a free and open Indo-Pacific.
But why build a port here? This port could potentially offer logistical support to both military and humanitarian missions, giving the U.S. and the Philippines greater flexibility in this crucial area. This isn't just about military presence. It's about reinforcing alliances and ensuring stability in a region that's feeling the pressure of geopolitical tensions.
Yan po, mga Chinese.
Of course, China isn't thrilled about this new development. China's territorial claims and its recent military buildup in the South China Sea show it has ambitions to exert control over the region. A U.S.-funded port so close to Chinese interests is seen as a direct counter to these ambitions, leading some analysts to predict a diplomatic standoff. This port is more than just a facility, it's a symbol of partnership. As the U.S. seeks to reaffirm its presence in the Pacific, it strengthens ties with regional allies like the Philippines. This move could encourage other nations to step up their own defense initiatives in the face of China's rising influence.
Ng US,
So what lies ahead? As construction begins and tensions simmer, all eyes will be on Batanes. Will this port spark a new wave of partnerships in Asia, or will it escalate tensions in the South China Sea? Only time will tell. The U.S. military is reportedly eyeing the development of a strategically positioned port in the Philippines, which will offer a more immediate foothold near key islands oriented toward Taiwan. Such a move, experts caution, is likely to be perceived as a hostile act by Beijing. Ongoing negotiations involve constructing a port in the Philippines' northern Batanes Islands, approximately 125 miles from Taiwan, the democratically governed territory that Beijing claims as part of its sovereign domain. Reuters has highlighted the criticality of this location. The Bashi Channel, situated between Taiwan and the Batanes Islands, serves as an essential maritime artery, linking the Western Pacific to the hotly disputed South China Sea. This waterway would hold even greater strategic importance in the event of a Chinese offensive against Taiwan. Filipino officials...
Stop muna natin, ano? So, kung doon po kasi magkakaroon ng base militar ang Amerika sa tulong ng Pilipinas, dahil lupain po ng Pilipinas yun o mga island na pag-aari ng Pilipinas, may hirapan pong i-circle o i-encircle ng China ang Taiwan sapagkat nakahadlang po doon ang mga Amerikano na anytime pwede silang harangin. So, basag na po yung plano ng Chinese para i-encircle yung Taiwan. Kasi nga, nakaharang na. Kasi nasa gitna po yung tinutukoy ng, ng Amerika na kung saan magfa-fund sila ng napakalaking halaga para i-build yon as a military base ng Amerika. Tuloy natin.
Confirmed that American military representatives had recently visited Batanes to discuss the proposed port. Governor Mary Lou Keiko of Batanes mentioned her appeal for U.S. funding to construct an auxiliary port, especially to assist cargo vessels seeking refuge from treacherous seas during the monsoon season. Manila joined other neighboring nations in raising objections to a new map issued by China's Ministry of Natural Resources, which asserts claims over regions in India, all of Taiwan, and various contested islands, reefs, and maritime areas within the South China Sea. The U.S. proposal to establish a port in the Philippines could be interpreted as a countermeasure to Beijing's increasing influence in these disputed waters. In recent years, China has fortified its presence by fully militarizing at least 3 of the man-made islands it constructed there, intensifying the strategic stakes in the region. Beijing views any U.S. initiative to establish ports or facilities on Pacific Islands as a potential step towards supporting American intervention in the event of a Chinese military action against Taiwan. According to Steve Sang, director of the China Institute at London School of Oriental and African Studies. Speaking with Newsweek, Sang noted that Beijing perceives such moves as hostile, whether they involve military or civilian facilities, as both could aid the U.S. in assisting Taiwan during a conflict. Mark Montgomery, a senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, FED, echoed this sentiment, suggesting that the port plan could introduce new complexities into China's strategic calculations. I think they will counter this by applying economic pressure on the Philippines. A July policy brief from FDD observed that tensions are intensifying in the region, especially after China's People's Liberation Army, PLA, deployed a record number of warships near Taiwan. This heightened activity, according to FDD, points to Beijing's intent to maintain a high operational tempo ahead of...
So, stop muna natin, I-discuss lang natin yung mga ginagawa ng Chinese PLA, yung People's Liberation ng China, grabe po yung ginagawa nila. Actually, may reported po na Chinese aircraft carrier dito sa Philippine Sea, So, pati Philippine Sea po, pinapasok na po nila. At mukhang hindi ito hanggang maawat ng Pilipinas, hanggang report na lang tayo at pag-expose kung ano yung ginagawa nitong mga Chinese Navy na ito. So, balik tayo ulit,
Taiwan's presidential election in January, a stance that risks increasing miscalculations between U.S. and Chinese military forces in the short to midterm. To counterbalance China's influence, Washington has been strengthening alliances in Asia, particularly with the Philippines. Although the U.S. formally recognizes only one Chinese government under its One China policy and maintains official diplomatic ties with Beijing, not Taiwan, the Taiwan Relations Act permits arms sales to Taiwan, aimed at enabling the island to defend itself. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. of the Philippines has pursued closer relations with the U.S. than his predecessor, Rodrigo Duterte. Marcos has granted the U.S. access to 4 additional military bases, some near Taiwan, and endorsed joint patrols in the South China Sea. This year, Batanes served as a training ground during the Batanes military exercises, involving more than 17,000 Filipino and
So, stop natin ulit, oh. Itong mga nakaraang taon, o itong nagdaang taon, napakaraming exercise po, ano, na ginawa at nilahukan ng mga Pilipino. At sa iba-ibang bansa po ito, no? Hindi lang sa Amerika, no? Meron sa Australia, meron sa Germany. So, marami po, no? Ngayon, nagre-request yata ng isang exercise sa pagitan ng United Kingdom at saka ng Pilipinas, ano? So, ang military exercise po ay isang malaking gastos po yan, ano, na pinupondohan din ng Pilipinas, no, dahil ultimo yung mga balang ginagamit diyan at yung gasolina ay hindi biro, malaking halaga po. Gayon din po sa side nung kapartner natin, kung Amerika man to, Japanese o ano, gumagastos din po sila rito. At ang paggastos po nito ay hindi biro at bot gumagastos, ano, para i-counter itong China. Kasi itong China ay talagang mukhang hindi papaawat, ano. Balita ko nga, meron ditong isang grupo sa China na magde-destabilize ng kanilang gobyerno. At sana magwagi nga yon, dahil ultimo doon sa loob ng China, merong hindi nila gusto yung ginagawa ng kanilang gobyerno. So, tuloy natin ulit yung video.
American soldiers. Marcos has also indicated that the base's share under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, with the U.S. could be critical if China were to invade Taiwan, a scenario that Manila fears could have serious repercussions for the Philippines due to its close proximity to the island. Ji Kunju, a political science professor at Bucknell University, commented, the proposed U.S. port in Batanes reflects Washington's ongoing strategy to counterbalance China and thwart its aspirations to unify with Taiwan.
Galing.
Zhu remarked that this new proposed port, alongside other U.S. activities near China, will only deepen the erosion of mutual trust between the two countries. Zhu noted that recent
mga
actions,
barko ng
including the U.S.-Japan-South Korea summit held at Camp David in August and joint military exercises in the South China Sea and Yellow Sea, are seen by China as the Biden administration's attempt to contain its influence, despite Washington's ongoing assurances that it does not seek confrontation. The U.S. State Department has yet to comment on the proposed port. This development arises amid mounting concerns in the United States over China's regional actions. An August poll by Ipsos revealed that nearly one-third, 32% of Americans see China as an immediate threat, with 40% predicting that the U.S. could go to war with China within the next 5 years. The survey, which included 1,005 adults from diverse political backgrounds and had a margin of error of 5.3%, also found that 2/3 of Americans believe the U.S. should enhance its preparedness for a potential military threat from China. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you think about this strategic move.
So, yun po, no? Ano mga gamit nila, no? So, yun po, no, napakaganda po nung alok ng Amerika na ito, no, para mabawas-bawasan itong pambubuli ng China, no. Ultimo mismo kasi yung Amerika ay mukhang nag-aalangan din sila. Ewan ko lang sa pamumuno ni Trump ngayon. Ngayon, kung kayo po ay sang-ayon sa proyektong ito ng Amerika, pwede naman kayo magbigay ng comment. O kung ayaw nyo, pwede rin po kayo magbigay ng comment dyan sa ating sa baba para malaman natin kung sino ang may gusto o kung sino ang ayaw sa planong ito ng Amerika. Pero kung ako po ang tatanungin nyo, ganang akin lang, ako po ay sang-ayon dyan sapagkat ito ay nagsisilbing bantay sa atin, ano, at hindi tayo nahaharas gaya nung nakikita natin dati na nahaharas tayo. Ngayon may mga bago tayong kagamitan at nasa likod natin itong mga Amerikano. Hindi lang po ito, marami po. Meron andyan ang Japan, andyan ang Australia, at maging ang Thailand, at ang Asian, hopefully po, ang Asian nation ay dapat sana nasa side po ng Pilipinas at tumulong. Sa bandang huli ay magwagi ang kapayapaan. Kahit na meron mga ganyan, ay nawa ay hindi matuloy ang anumang napipintong labanan. Ito po ang Avoy Mix Videos. Maraming salamat po.